What's going on, YouTube? Today we will be working with estates from dead people, and how do we get them on our own. This game is called Someone Has Died. Someone Has Died is a story-driven party game where each round consists of one judge and multiple people trying to sell their story to the judge in order to win the estates over. This is for 3 to 6 players and plays in about 30 minutes. So start with the estate keeper, or the judge. He will create an identity of someone who has died, and how they died, and what their fortune is. During the game, you can hand out objection cards, which, if a player has done something funny or clever, you can hand them this card, and they can use that card against their opponents at any point. Now, as one of the players that is not a judge, you are building a story designed to steal the estates and fortune of the GM's dead person. You will be given an identity card, a relationship card, and 2 backstory cards. So you're going to start by building your character. You have to implement all 4 cards in your opening statement. So the next round is going to be the interrogation round. Players draw 1 new backstory card, and the GM asks them a question based off what's been said. Players have to incorporate the new card to their story. Then there's recess, where there's no new cards and players get to ask each other 1 question. Then you finish off at the final statements. Players draw 1 more backstory card and make their final pleas. The estate keeper decides who wins the fortune based off the stories he's heard. Now let's set the expectations for this game. Because it is story driven, it asks for a lot of creativity. Each judge kind of acts as a GM in a sense, because they do run the direction of this story. You create the character who died, you create their estates and how they died. You also have a very valuable tool. You can give out objection cards, which is my favorite part of the game, because each objection card is forcibly true no matter what it says. So while players are creating their story using cards such as relationships, backstories, and character cards, as they're formulating a story with this character and explaining why they deserve the estates, now they have to throw in this an objection can be thrown in by somebody else, and they have to somehow work that into the story. Unfortunately, I do think this game falls a little short with some of the cards. I just don't think they bend very well. It's very clunky. Some cards just really don't work together. And I don't know how to fix that. If someone's trying to tell a story, no matter how creative they are, it's going to be hard to implement some of the cards that you've gathered. Certain relationships just don't work, like a lawyer and a caveman, right? Or some of the objections just don't really mesh well with some of the characters. And if you're building this backstory and you're given an objection card that just totally 180s your script, you can't really bounce back from that. So those are a couple of the downfalls I've noticed with this game, as well as just it's pretty niche with character groups. Not a lot of people are in their own words creative, so it's not as fun for them to play a story-driven game. Now, with all that being said, I am subjectively enjoying this game because I do like storytelling. I think one of the highlights to this game is watching people twist their personalities and stories based off the judge at that moment. Kind of like with games like Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples, you're playing cards based off that judge's humor. Very similar situation with Someone Has Died, but with storytelling, and I really enjoyed that aspect. The way someone would tell a story to me would be completely different to how they tell it to, my brother, for example. And what's great about that is because as you're telling these stories, the judges are able to give the objection cards, like I said, so you could see them really try and put the effort to make you laugh, so you can be humored and give them an objection card so they can use that against their opponents. So that was pretty fun. Now, if this is something you are looking for, a relatively unique storytelling party game, I definitely recommend you check this out. If you are creative enough to mess around with some of these cards that you think might not work, maybe you're a better storyteller than I probably am. right? You probably are a better storyteller than me, but you know, to each their own. I do want to thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment, subscription, and a like, and stay tuned for the next video.